if I'm doing poetry readings, I say I grew up in a small southern town. And they say, what town did you grow up in? I say, I grew up in Virginia Highland. They say, Virginia Highland, is that near Osceola? I said, yeah, it's not far from Osceola. Anyway, we got blues fans. Everybody loves the blues.
Oh, yeah.
It's always the greatest irony to me that the blues, you were people in the South, especially young white kids like me, we grew up surrounded by it, but then we had to find out about the blues from the Brits, from British art school bands, right? Even though we were surrounded with it. My history with the blues began when I was a late blooming teen. And what that means is, okay, I was a virgin, because I had been raised by Edwardian great aunts to be a little gentleman, to never become common, which meant to never try to make out with girls. And this meant I evolved into a skinny, zit-faced nerd who loved the Beatles and every other British invasion band, the Stones and Yardbirds, and a great irony, introducing me to the American blues, the music that came from my own roots, the American South. And I used my paper route money to send off to Chicago for classic recordings from Chess and other labels, the liner notes always saying that sex was key to understanding the blues, but I knew that was not true because I didn't know anything about sex, but I still love the blues. I even had a map of the Mississippi Delta on my bedroom wall. So when I heard Little Melton sing, I'm a 60-minute man, I'm a 60-minute man, I knew exactly what he meant. Little Milton was a fast driver. He could get from Clarksville to Memphis in under an hour. Yeah, the blues was not all about sex. Same for Howlin' Wolf's Backdoor Man. I mean, I knew there was a hidden meaning to it, and I completely got it. How Chester, Howlin' Wolf's real name was Chester Burnett, how old Chester had to always use the back door because his shoes were so muddy from the Mississippi dirt. My great aunts were constantly on me about using the back door and wiping my feet before I came inside. And it was just like the lyrics said, I'm a back door man. The men don't know, boom, 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 but the little girls understand. See, there you go. Girls hardly ever track dirt in. And in the next verse, Helen went, I'm accused of murder in the first degree. Judge's wife cried out, let the man go free. I am the back door man. I got it. The judge's wife was morally opposed to capital punishment. Hey, I was 17, I was a virgin, yet I totally understood the blues. But there was one song I was not too sure about because it had this riddle number, spoonful. That spoon, that spoon, that spoonful. Willie Dixon was singing about it. And what he said, everybody was talking about it, and everybody was crying about it. But what exactly was it a spoonful of? Was it sugar? Was it medicine? Was it peanut butter? No. I love Memphis Minnie, the way she drug out that Robert Johnson tune. You better come in my kitchen, 'cause it's gonna be a rain outside. It was so sultry, and also it was pretty simple to decode. It was summertime in the South. There were sudden storms, and who wants to get wet? And a hot kitchen is a perfect place to dry your feet out and dry out your socks. And maybe Minnie would make you some pancakes while you came in her kitchen. And that first Yardbirds album that had I'm a Man, which really, that's just a cover of Muddy Waters' Mannish Boy. But I did get a little confused when saying, all you little girls, sit down that line. I can make love to you women in 5 minutes time. By this time, a congressman had told me that Little Milton was bragging about 60 minutes was how long he fucked. And now, old Muddy was talking about 5 minutes. And this was actually more my speed when I locked myself in the bathroom with my father's Adventure magazines. those pencil line drawings of huge-breasted women in charge of lost and skinny American GIs out in some jungle. 5 minutes tops. But that spoonful. Oh, that was a mystery. I played it over and over. It haunted me. The hints Willie Dillson gave. How it could be a spoonful of coffee. How it could be a spoonful of tea. And some of them cries about it. And some of them dies about it. It became my own personal sword in the stone mystery. Never mind civil rights marches. And forget the global threat of thermonuclear war hovering over humanity. What was in that spoonful? Muddy's Hoochie Coochie Man was another stumper. I mean, I got the part where the gypsy woman tells his mother there's a boy child coming. And yeah, I understood he was going to be a son of a gun. But why, oh why, did he need a black cat bone? And why did he need a mojo? And what, oh what, was a Johnny Conqueroo? Years later, a New Orleans brick mason on a job would tell me that Johnny Conqueroo is the root of a certain morning glory that resembles the testicles of a large man. And this is what was often carried in a mojo. And that's just a well-made flannel sack, a prayer in a bag, ensuring potency. Men, you always got to have that mojo around. But when I was a virgin blues expert, I just wrote it off as another mystery. And who knew? Who knew when that hippie freak in the Doors kept screaming, "Mojo rising, mojo rising." If you rearrange the letters in mojo rising, is an anagram for Jim Morrison. Okay. So I had a lot of time on my hands, not having sex and all. Of course, some blues songs were self-explanatory, like Elmore James going, "You had me rolling and tumbling all night long." Poor Elmore couldn't get to sleep. He was tossing and turning, worrying about his girlfriend being out late. I decided she must have been working the night shift. I figured it was the same woman Elmore was worrying about when he sang, "You better shake your moon and makeup." You better, which obviously referred to Dice, right? She was all right. He was rolling and tumbling all night, worrying about his girlfriend, working late at a gambling place. I understood it. And then the country blues. Oh, we love the country blues, John Lee Hooker. Pow, 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 pow. I'm going fishing, baby, with a long, long pole. I'm going fishing, baby, with a long, long pole. Fishing with you, baby, ooh, in a deep, dark hole. Hey, I've been fishing, and I've seen old men with those long bamboo poles. That's where the big fat fish hid, in a deep, dark hole. Everybody knew that. And then there was Bessie Smith, her empty bed blues. The poor woman was so lonesome. First, Bessie Smith said her man had a coffee grinder that could grind her beans all night long. I got that. She liked espresso, yes. And then she says her man was like a deep sea diver, that he could stay down all night long. Deep sea though, in the Delta. Bessie loved to sing about food too. I need a little sugar in my bowl. I need a big old hot dog in my roll. She must have been at the ball game. Bessie Smith, who died in a terrible car wreck in 1937 Mississippi, where on Highway 61, and the White Hospital in the area would not take her in. She died in the hallway, and her grave remained unmarked until 1970, when a mysterious benefactor finally gave her a headstone. The Granite Man finally telling us all that the check to the Granite Man was signed by Janis Joplin. And then there was Hoodoo Blues, where Junior Wells sang the story just the way Sonny Boy Williamson had written it down. My little bit woman, she done quit me for another man, but I hold out my hand, Lord, you know. Somebody be telling little Junior, somebody hoodooed the Hoodoo Man. Whoa. Somebody hoodooed the hoodoo man. I stayed up nights with that one. First off, just being a hoodoo man seemed enough, and so nothing bad could ever happen to you because you possess the sneaky, cheating power of an illicit orgasm. I was later to find out. But what did that make the guy who hoodooed the hoodoo man? And what if somebody hoodooed the snake who had hoodooed the hoodoo man? It was all too much to contemplate, mostly because I was still having problems with that spoonful. Everybody talking about it. Everybody crying about it. I stayed in my room and played it over and over again. First the Willie Dixon, and then the Cream. And then on Sunday mornings with my parents beating on the locked bathroom door that it was time for church, but I was beating too. I was in there with the magazines. That spoon. Was it coffee? Was it tea? Just a little spoon of your precious love. Me with my father's Argosy magazines, open to the big women ripping those skinny GIs through the jungle. Let's go! They were beating on the doors. My aunts are banging. We know you're in there, Rupert. Come on, we gotta get to church. That spoon. Those huge breasts pushing their way through the jungle. My Johnny Conqueror, spoonful. The women with all that hair, back door man, come in my kitchen, hot dog in my rolls, hoodoo man, bang, 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 Sunday school starting, spoon, okay, I'm coming!